Remarkable, isn't it? It's sure to revolutionise motoring in this country. Another aspect of today's motoring is changing the face of Britain's countryside. Here we have a plan of the London to Birmingham flyover. This is the London to Birmingham road here, and this is supposed to be the Leicester to Melton Mowbray road. Unfortunately, before completion, they ran out of money, and so the cars, instead of flying over, fall over. Shame, eh? The concrete blocks people are expected to live in are, as I said, entirely made of concrete, and the people just don't like them at all. Unfortunately, these may take over, and these concrete monstrosities are now appearing all over the country. Well, that's all we have time for now, so until next week, goodbye and good motoring.
Thank you, Sally Wheels, for bringing us right up to date with the events in the motoring world. In part 2 of this evening's programme, we will meet our very famous scientist inventor.
Have a look. It's so silly. Can we watch it, Desi?
Oh.
Don't look at me like that.
It's good.
It's too bad. It's good.
When the picture came up, whoa, and when it was there, it was really good.
Hello. Welcome to Melton College programme, Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow. As you know, we endeavour to examine the past and study its effects on present-day life, and then try to predict what may happen in the future. In this evening's programme, we have an interview with a very famous scientist and inventor, and as usual, our regular feature, Top of the Pile. But let's start off with an up-to-date report from our motoring correspondent, Ali Wheels.
Oh, hello. As you know, in this part of the programme, we look at the most recent British inventions in the motoring industry. Do you remember this car? We described it as one of our programmes last year and felt sure that its performance would never be superseded. But progress is progress. And now we show you this year's model. The very latest car to come to the market, the all-plastic car. Now, as you can see, this is the all-plastic car. It may look like a toy car to you, but do not be fooled. Now, I'm afraid there seems to have been some sort of accident and a car has fallen off. So I shall just go over to our motoring correspondent who will put the car back on the scene. Yes, as you can see, he's Jeff Capes. Yes, now, this is the all-plastic car. The all-plastic car is yellow and red. Ah, there we have it. The racing model, yes. It has a black roof, that's a sunroof, that in a minute will turn to a glass roof so people can see what they're doing. 19 on the side signifies that it is the 19th car to be produced on the factory line. It has 4 black wheels. Now, these wheels are not just ordinary wheels, they're racing wheels. These wheels mean that the car can go at speeds up to 90 miles an hour. Yes, viewers, 90 miles an hour. What other car do you know can go to 90 miles an hour? Remarkable, isn't it? Yes, I'm sure it is. Remarkable. And there we see the car has just driven off. It's probably going to the new production line. Remarkable. It's sure to revolutionise motoring in the country. Another aspect of today's motoring is changing the face of Britain's countryside. This is a junction. It is where two roads cross each other. This is a typical junction in all of England. You'll probably see these all over the place, and of course in America. Except in America they're called spaghetti junctions because of the amount of roads that go into it. As you can see, here we have a lorry. This is a pet foods lorry. Bit of advertising there for you. A pet foods lorry. This is probably carrying a lot of pet foods to various places in the country. And here we have an ambulance, no doubt rushing off to do wonderful work. Now listen, this junction, this is where cars cross each other, okay? Now then, these concrete monstrosities are now appearing all over the country. Oh, well, that's all we have time for now. So until next week, goodbye and good motoring.
Thank you, Ali Wheels, for bringing us right up to date with the events in the motoring world. In part 2 of this evening's programme, we will meet our very famous scientist and inventor.
Programme Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow. As you know, we endeavour to examine the past and try to predict what may happen in the future. We have an interview with a very famous scientist and inventor, and as usual, our regular feature, Top of the Pile. But let's start off with an up-to-date report from our motoring correspondent, L.A. Wheels.
Hello. As you know, in this part of the programme, we look at the most recent British inventions in the motoring industry. Do you remember this car? Well, you probably won't remember it now because it's not actually up on the screen. But if you just wait for a little bit, I'm sure it'll come. It is a very famous car, and I'm sure once it gets on the screen, I'm sure you'll all remember it. It's a very nice design, and I'm sure it'll look even nicer once it gets on the screen. There you go. That was it. I just caught a quick glimpse of it. It was a Ford Lizzie. Well, we described it in one of our programmes last year and felt sure that its performance and design will never be superseded. But progress is progress. And now we show you this year's model. The very latest car to come onto the market. The all-plastic car. As you can see, this car is exquisitely designed, made by top designers in Italy. Apparently, they locked themselves away for 10 years learning the design of this new car and showing new inventions into it which have never been brought into other cars. As you can see, there are nice handwriting on each side of the car and lovely little bumpers which make it a beautiful family car and cheap at half the price, which I'm not allowed to disclose due to copyright. As you can see, there's 19, which shows it can be used as a rally car, which is absolutely fantastic, and colours is no object at all. Whatever colour you want, even pink, yellow or orange or other beautiful colours like that. Well, what more can you say about the car except look at it for yourself. It's absolutely beautiful, and what can you say? Remarkable, isn't it? It's sure to revolutionise motoring in this country. Another aspect of today's motoring is changing the face of Britain's countryside. Right. Here we have a modern day sort of built up area. It's a junction, and here's your roads. One sort of unfinished, which is fairly typical of today's architecture. And here's one that is finished, with little truckies on, and a big flat, well, actually, big block of flats, actually. But this is what is the crucial bit, the actual motorways and junctions. It is quite excellent, and I'm sure it is an absolute breakthrough in motoring today. Wouldn't you agree, viewers? Yes, well, I knew you would. Nice trucks, yes, beautiful designs. Same make as the plastic car, and yes, well, what more can I say? Except these concrete monstrosities are now appearing all over the country. Well, that's all we have time for this week, so until next week, goodbye and good motoring.
Thank you, Ellie Wheels, for bringing us right up to date with events in the motoring world. In part 2 of this evening's programme, we will meet our very famous scientist and inventor. To the Melton College programme, yesterday, today, tomorrow. As you know, we endeavour to examine the past and study its effects on present-day life, and then try to predict what may happen in the future. In this evening's programme, we have an interview with a very famous scientist and inventor, as usual, our regular feature, Top of the Pile. But let's start off with an up-to-date report from our motoring correspondent, Ali Wheels.
Hello. As you know, in this part of the programme, we look at the most recent British inventions in the motoring industry. Do you remember this car? We described it in one of our programmes last year and felt sure its performance and design would never be superseded. But progress is progress, and now we show you this year's model, the very latest car to come on the market, the all-plastic car. And as you can see, it's yellow and the sound effects are absolutely brilliant. The car is yellow and red for purposes of driving in the dark and nobody else seeing you, because as you see, the sounds are not very loud. The number 19 on the side are for the purposes of going in for a rally, of course. And as you see, there is no number plate, but that is not to worry, because nobody really notices this car as it zooms across so quickly that nobody ever sees it. Remarkable, isn't it? It is sure to revolutionise motoring in this country. Another aspect of today's motoring is changing the face of Britain's countryside. As you can see, this is the junction to the left of Leicester to Melton Road. This road here stops, I'm afraid. We don't really know why. We think that the working people went on strike as this road was being built, but instead of the cars flying over, they fall off. But this is not to worry, as these cars here seem to be having a beautiful time on the grey roads, and these cars here don't seem to have much of a good time on the green grass, do they? But these concrete monstrosities are now appearing all over the country. Well, that's all we have time for until next week, so goodbye, and
Happy motoring!
Thank you, Ali Wheels, for bringing us right up to date with the events in the motoring world.
Temperatures for the sheltered northwest. As far as air quality...